Uncle Dan.
Yes, sir.
From time to time, we like to dabble in the livestock business.
We've been known to dabble on occasion.
We've been known, and there's no cow as delicious to us that is a sweet savor unto Uncle Mark and Uncle Dan so much as a sacred cow.
Indeed. We like to take the most sacred things that people believe and then poop all over them.
Or just grill them up. And at the barbecue with us this week is our chef and Toastmaster Uncle Doug.
Hey-o.
and yeah, you guys are both here. Now, here's the thing. I thought to myself as I was prepping for this, I want to do a Sacred Cow segment. Why not do Kamadhenu? Kamadhenu.
Yes.
That's
what is that?
Come on, Dan, who?
Kamadhenu. Kamadhenu is the Sanskrit name for, get ready for it, the original sacred cow.
What?
We're actually doing the guy, the critter for whom this whole segment is named.
Oh,
bovine number 1.
That's right. Holy cow.
Patient 0.
We are doing it. We're doing it live.
I love it. I love
it. She is known as the mother of all cows.
Yes.
Kamadhenu. And is a miraculous cow of plenty, which is a term that I will never not be happy about. That is how Wikipedia describes her. Literally, she can provide whoever owns her with anything that they want, except presumably beef.
Right.
Because
milk.
They do milk. And that's part of the thing that's so weird about this whole... I wanted just to talk about Hinduism and this whole veneration of cows thing. Because all you have to do is scratch it a little bit and you see that there's no there. It doesn't make any sense to venerate the fucking cows because the idea behind this whole veneration of cows comes essentially from the notion that cows are givers. They give and they give, meaning milk, mostly milk, and then they also help you plow your field or whatever.
Right.
Or pull your cart. And there's just such generous critters. How could you kill and eat them? But fuck those goats.
Right, exactly.
And fuck that sheep. Who, you know, they also give milk, and the sheep gives wool.
And wool.
And yet, fuck you.
Right.
Right.
The cows are meant to be sort of a stand-in for all life. You're supposed to respect the shit out of all the life, but they're the only ones that apparently you can't kill and eat, which I think is weird.
Right.
Kamadhenu is often depicted as, in different ways, often as a white cow with all of the other deities contained within, but also sometimes as a white cow with a human woman's head and breasts in the front and a peacock's tail.
Keep talking. I'm almost there. Keep talking.
How
is working.
About wings? Does wings do it for you? Because she got wings.
Yeah, but they got to be like dragonfly wings or something.
Okay, good. Yeah.
Yeah, you got it?
I'm done.
You got it? Good. Excellent. Let's keep talking.
A woman's head and breasts. And okay.
It is a creepy looking thing. It's not
nightmare
something
fuel.
that, you don't want to think too much about it. I read an article by a Hindu person about sort of, because there is a misconception that they worship cows, and they don't worship cows, except sometimes they do, but usually they don't. As is the case so often with Hinduism, it's
Thanks
just
for clearing it up.
It's a bit of a hodgepodge. There is a festival that I found that happens in Nepal.
The Festival of Exceptions.
Right, where they worship the cow. But otherwise, it's just... So I'm reading this article, and it's saying things like, we regard all living creatures as sacred. Mammals, fishes, birds, and more. But the cow symbolizes all the other creatures. And then I'm like, but you kill all of those creatures.
Yeah, ask them what they think about Pakistanis.
Cows do not symbolize Pakistani. So yeah, I mean, the way that they talk about cows is. Do you guys know what a shmoo is? There's a
What's
like in the 40s there was the little,
Taming of the Shmoo. It's Shakespeare.
In the 40s there was a little Abner cartoon. By the way, all of my octo and septuagenarian listeners are going apey right now. They're loving this. They just woke up. They just woke up. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Huh? What? Anyway, the shmoo was like this creature that walked around, and if you looked at it hungrily, it would kill itself so that you could eat it.
Oh my God.
They budded asexually. They looked like a chubby bowling pin, and they would walk around, and like if you fried them, they tasted like chicken, and if you grilled them, they taste like beef, and it's the weirdest fucking shit.
What fucking Lovecraftian hellscape? What is this, little Abner?
Yeah, you need to look up shmoos.
God.
Anyway, that's how Hindus talk about cows. At least the few things that I read, they just and I don't know. I've been to India, and I've seen. Here's the thing. They do venerate the cows to the point where they don't feel like they can actually like tell them not to go into the road and stuff.
Yeah, I've heard that.
So they were walking around in the road all the time. I had one driver tell me that the cows are the actual like traffic cops of India, because without them, everybody would just be driving way too fast.
Right.
But they let their cows wander around, which I guess means that they're not in full captivity. But they milk them, and I saw guys driving cattle pulled carts all over the city, and it's not like they don't use these animals.
Right.
100% they do. But then they also do things like have festivals where they paint the cows and like decorate them in garlands, and this if I go back to India, it will be to see this. Get them drunk.
Oh no!
They let them. They have one day where they get all the cows drunk and let them sort of go apey, that is crazy.
That is my kind of festival.
Yeah, it's the only part of the world where you can literally buy jewelry and clothing for your cows, because decorating a cow is a very important thing.
No. Dan, have you not been to Wyoming? It is not the only place you can buy jewelry and clothing.
They're just dressing up. Well, that's true. They want to dress them up to be purty.
Yes, right.
Mahatma Gandhi himself had a quote about cows, which I find so weird. Quote, "One can measure the greatness of a nation and its moral progress by the way it treats its animals." Okay. Cow protection to me is not mere protection of the cow. It means protection of all that lives and is helpless and weak in the world. The cow means the entire subhuman world. Now, does anybody find any logical problems with this statement? Because I do. I just feel like... yeah, go ahead.
Well, sure. I mean, I haven't been to India, Dan, and I know it's a big country, and it's got loads of people and probably more people that can handle. But let me ask you this. Did you find the veneration and protection of all life something that was going on every day in India?
I mean, I venerated and protected food that was going in my face hole, but these people are all eating every other animal but the cow. It's the same problem. I know. I've already mentioned this problem, but like talking about it as though they're doing something hugely moral in protecting the cows when there's no moral imperative to protect any other animal, I find so incredibly strange.
Well, it's selective in the most peculiar way, but if
they were like Tibetan Buddhists who like had to sweep the ground before they walked on it to make sure they weren't stepping on insects, kind of a thing.
Or the Jains who do this,
or the Jains, precisely,
who like have to wear a veil over their mouth lest they breathe a bug.
Exactly.
Yeah, that is protecting all the critters. I mean, maybe to a bit of an extreme, but my God.
I would say if I had seen a cow with a woman's head and breasts, I would never eat cow again. I would never eat beef again. So, in fact, I would never sleep again. So
Right.
I get it.
That's fair. I think that's fair.
Right. I totally get it.
Yeah. The cow, yeah. So cows also figure pretty heavily into a lot of Hindu mythology, probably the most famous of which being Nandi, the bull. Nandi was Lord Shiva's protector, and also the bull that Lord Shiva would ride around on. That was his conveyance to places.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of very important. There's a whole sect of Hinduism that has Nandi as their like guy, their god. So cows are very important. They figure into a lot of this stuff, and yet the more I read, and believe me, I went down many a rabbit hole trying to figure out what the fuck was going on with this thing. It never made any sense to me.
By the way, going down a rabbit hole is no way to venerate life.
Well, I was going down there to shake the rabbit's hand and thank it for its service
And lop its paw off.
I'm not going to tell you how I know this. Just trust me. Also, a rabbit hole is a terrible place to try to put a cow. Okay? Just words of wisdom from Uncle Mark.
I mean, that depends on the rabbit and the cow. If you get the right combination, you never know.
Well, I have a friend who's a lot of I work in the film business and fairly not too infrequently, it's someone I know will go do a movie in India and then come back a bit shattered just because among other things the movie business is completely wired completely differently there. But my friend's take on the sacred cow business was, they're not really, you don't kill them, but nobody really looks after them so much, right? So they. Right. As you said, they just kind of wander in the street, and many of them are starving to death because there's nothing to eat but garbage.
Oh yeah,
right?
You'll see the boniest cows you've ever seen in your life in India. They are not,
and they're full. They're full of plastic and garbage, and then it's terrible luck if one dies on your property. So these poor sick animals that just want to sit down or lay down and die just get pushed from property to property, right? So just fair warning to anything that's on the way to being considered sacred. Think about it.
Right, yeah, exactly. You might want to consider turning that down.
God.
It's not, I remember walking in the most sacred city in all of India. I was in Varanasi, walking with my mother and our tour guide, and we were walking through these very tight corridors, sort of alleyways. And yeah, then a cow comes through, and you just gotta okay, fuck. I'll go right, you go left, I guess, cow. And you definitely want to be watching where you're stepping when you're walking around in India. So there you go. That's how to treat a cow according to someone who venerates it in the worst way possible.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to go back to, again, it's one of these, not only is it literally a sacred cow for our segment about sacred cows, but it's the origin of this this word, this term that we all throw around so much, and maybe today we learned a little bit more about it. A cow with lady parts.
There you go. Shall we move on?
Let's move on.